Welcome to ZOOMERTIMES TV. And here's your host, Anita Finley.
Hello, everybody. We're back again, and we have someone that's so special in my life and hopefully in yours, Roberta Hladek, and she is the co-founder of the AIM program, and she's calling in from Las Vegas, the real Las Vegas, and she's such a, well, let's say she's not only very intelligent, she's very caring, and that's what we were just talking now about her elder mother. And we were discussing about how it is when people during this COVID, they stay home a lot. I mean, I do the same thing, but I do try to I talk to a lot of people on the phone, and I, of course, do the Zoomer Times. I write the Boomer Times, but it is different. I have started asking people I know who are vaccinated to come over and have dinner. So I have 2 dinners coming up at my home, and that's what I'm doing, Roberta.
Oh, that's great. That's a great idea.
And of course, you have a husband, so the 2 of you are together.
Mm-hmm. He does travel, like he's in Texas right now. So hopefully he'll be back this weekend, I think. He's been gone for 2 weeks.
Oh, okay. Well, they say absence makes the heart grow fonder.
That's true. It's kind of nice to have that little break once in a while.
Well, let's just talk about the AIM program and how splendid it is. And it has created many, many good things in people's lives. I know it has in my life. It was in my husband's life. And now I have a dog. It's in my dog's life. But there are people who, of course, have some serious illnesses. And the AIM program really, how am I going to explain that? I know you can explain it better. Let's see in layman terms. I would call it's the unseen catalyst to make people feel much better, much more enthusiastic without their even having to lift a finger to do it. How about that?
That's all. Yeah. You hit it right on, nail on the head right there.
That's right. So if you have someone that calls because they're interested, they've heard this show or they've seen some advertising or they've talked to a person, how do you start from scratch and say, hello, I'm interested in this thing called the AIM program. What is that?
Well, I always say that it's a way of balancing yourself. We're balancing energy, and nowadays, energy is a word that people understand. Whereas when we first started off, people would say, energy, what the heck are you talking about? You guys, what is this? It's some woo-woo thing. And it was more difficult at that time to switch from the way we were practicing to going to the AIM program. But now what I tell people is when you're not feeling perfect, where it be spiritually, emotionally, physically, the AIM program can help you. Because we're all vibrating and we look like an aura. Everybody knows about the aura pictures. So I always use that as something to start with. And the aura has all those different colors on it. And those different colors represent what is going on in you at this time. Maybe you're having some issues with your eyes, maybe having issues with your muscles. It'll show up on the aura. So that's kind of the same thing with the AIM program. When you go on the program, all these energies that we have found and put into the computer system are being sent to these trays, which have all vibrate at a different vibrational rate. We vibrate at different rates. So what it does is it matches up our vibrations and we heal those negative vibrations and we increase the positive vibration, which we have a life force, and our life force is something that we measure from 0 to 100. When you're on the program, optimum is 100 for everyone. So as you're on the program, you might start off, most people start off at a point about 0.2, which is, you go, oh my gosh, that's below 0. But it goes up really fast as we self-heal all these obstacles in our vibrational field. And it's kind of like we're driving down the street going with the traffic as opposed to going against the traffic. So you start moving in a more forward momentum, and you have less energy within you to move towards that, going towards the traffic. So kind of a long way around the whole thing.
Oh, that's good. I haven't heard this.
Yeah, so when we raise our vibration, then things are easier for us. We start moving down the street a little easier. We have better gas in our tank. We're going better with the flow of the energy of the world, of the universe, and that's what we want to be. We don't want to go against the energy of the universe because it makes things harder for us. So as our vibration rises, we have more opportunities come to us, and we make better choices. And so if you're looking for a relationship, maybe a better job, maybe more happiness in your life, whatever it happens to be, I find that when we're going with the flow of the universe, those things come to us much easier, and we live a more fulfilled life. And we also are on the path that we're tended to be in this lifetime. We all have a path that we're supposed to be on. So we find that path, and then we can explore that path.
And how does AIM help do this?
Well, when we're sending those vibrations to us, it helps us heal the negative ones. And when the positive ones are there, they're enhanced. So that helps us be stronger, healthier, more spiritual, more conscious, all those great things.
And so people say, well, if you're in Las Vegas, how can I deal with you? Well, of course, everybody, when they join, they're asked to send a picture. And
Exactly.
this picture, and the picture is who you are. And I guess when you think about it, you've often heard about, usually it was the Indians and people who were native of some place. They said, don't take my picture, you're going to take my spirit away, right?
Exactly. And that's very, because your photograph holds your energy, and your energy is unique to you. Even if you were an identical twin, we would be able to tell the energy difference between the two twins, even if we didn't know that they were twins. Well, you could tell by their picture, but we could also tell by their energy. So yes, that's very true. And they always say, that's your soul is within your photograph. And that's why the Aborigines and, all these faraway places, we used to read about them in National Geographic when we had that magazine. You would read about those. And
I still have that magazine.
Do you?
I get it every month, yes.
I remember doing so many book reports and reports for school on things that I read in those magazines. And I remember reading that as a child and thinking, wow, that's interesting that they don't want to have their picture taken, and that was really fascinating to me. So I guess that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. But,
the SpaceX adventure, I thought about energy because Elon Musk, of course, really appreciated Tesla. You know who Tesla is, of course, and for people who don't, you could look it up. But this scientist many years ago, when Edison and the man from Westinghouse, I forget his name, when they were experimenting with things, and Tesla came up with a whole new energy idea, and it's very much about what you do. So SpaceX was kind of a culmination of a lot of the things that Elon Musk, he loved Tesla's ideas. Didn't you see that?
Yes. He's a fascinating guy. I love listening to him and hearing his thoughts on things. He's pretty amazing. And his mother, have you seen his mother on the commercials?
No, I haven't.
She's on CoverGirl commercials, and she's the oldest model. And I think she's
no kidding. I've got it. Oh, I have to see that.
I'm pretty sure, I'm not sure on the age. It's something like that. But she's wearing high heels, and she's, she says, when do you not wear makeup or something to that effect? And then she said, yeah, she's gorgeous.
Is she the one with the white short hair?
Yes.
That's his mother?
That's his mother.
Oh boy, I always find out so much from you. Well, but you see, we are talking about things we're very fortunate that uh, that we have let's just say that we've had a relationship with this wonderful woman. And I was just looking up something about AIM. I just want to get that phone, well, AIM.com, but I wanted to get the landline. Let's see. What's the phone number for someone to call there?
702-944-1801.
Oh yeah, I see that now. So anyway, Roberta Hladek is the co-founder. And if you want really to know more, you can go to aimprogram.com. But she really is so special. And we're so fortunate to have this in our world, because a lot of people, when they started thinking about seniors, they thought, oh, well, they sit around and they're these elderly, I never use that word, elderly people. And we know that's not true. And so it's been my dedication to change that and to have organizations like, like this, like what Roberta Hladek does, and to show that until the last breath you take, there's so much that you can do.
Absolutely. And our older generation, hate to say that, I don't like to use age at all, but we don't give them enough credit. Because I see my mom, like I was telling you, she's 93 and she is super with it. She's always looking for if I go there, she's about the latest color nail polish, or I should some sort of lipstick, or what clothes I should be wearing. And if you put on something, she'll say, do you have anything else you could wear? It's like very style conscious. But like I was telling you, I have noticed that when we are not with others and socializing is a very big thing. And my mom has been working with me since 1987. So she's been working with the program, and then she went on AIM, and she is a healthy person. She went to the doctor the other day, and for just her regular yearly thing, and the guy thought she was 80. He couldn't believe she was 93.
That says it all. Now that's exactly how we ought to describe the AIM program. Here is someone who's in her 90s, and the doctor can't even believe how young she is, because she contains that energy. And that's what I think age is. It's the energy that you put forward, because there are people in their 60s and younger who don't have that energy. And they need to, and then that really changes their body. As a matter of fact, I was thinking about something when you talk about energy. My mother was in hospice in her last few days, and I was there at the time she died. And when she died, the minute she died, her whole body just lost everything. I saw it.
Yeah.
She just turned a different, but to show that the energy that she always had was gone now. Because that's what we have, that energy.
That's our energy. Absolutely. And, Stephen Lewis, who was my business partner and our co-founder too, he used to always tell me, age is just a number. So just pick a number and be that age. He was not into age at all. And so he used to say, people would come into the office when we were in practice, and he would tell them, they'd ask him how old he was. And he'd say, oh, at the time he was like 60, I guess. And he would say, oh, I'm 82. And people would come out, he's 82. Then the next one would come out and go, I can't believe he's 85. He did this whole thing one day for us at that time. And she was talking and all about age. And so he was trying to make a point to her that age means nothing. You can be whatever age you want, because nobody knows what you're supposed to look like or be like at a particular age. So when they ask you your age, and I'm finding that more and more, people are always saying, how old are you? I don't know. I don't use a number. So I just need to have a number. I'm 25. And so I do what he,
that's a really good point. And people they used to judge people by their age. I think they're better now. Of course, people want to be 60 62 or 3 or whatever it is to get Social Security, and or 65 to get Medicare. But normally, people used to shudder when they were in their 60s. But now I meet so many people who are so attractive and so active, and they're just in their 60s. And I think that's so young.
Yes.
Because people are living longer. Well, we touched on COVID a little bit, but besides, having this, everybody's got to figure out how to get the best out of their life. And you have to really be positive. There's a lot to be positive about. As a matter of fact, I wrote a grateful list the other day of all the people and things that I'm grateful for. And you're on that list. I have to tell you that.
Oh, thank you. I'm going to make a grateful list. That's a great idea.
I made a grateful list, and I keep adding. I don't take away unless someone passes away. But even then, I was grateful for knowing them and being with them, like my mother and people like that. So, but you have to be grateful, because there's a lot of people who they take their ungratefulness and it ruins them.
Yeah. And we have to always think about information is energy. So what we're thinking about is being sent out to the universe. And I do believe that. So if we all change our way of thinking and think more positive, the world could be a better place, and you'll feel better. It's more fun to be positive than to be the downer person, So anytime anybody starts going in that direction, I always try and change it to the positive side. I like to look at the glass half full instead of half empty. And there's a lot that we can be grateful for, and a lot of things that we can be positive about. And every once in a while, someone will put a story up on social media, and it'll be a great story. And I always think, why can't we put those in our news? Why can't we have some positivity coming out instead of all the bad stuff? We know the bad stuff's out there. Let's make it equal and put some positive out there too. So,
Roberta, right. You took the words out of my thoughts. Definitely. I've always felt that, okay, they want breaking news because they want people to look at it, but they could open it up with something and close it with something. And absolutely, it's what they close it with is what you remember. Because if you watch TV and you wind up with the very last thing that's negative, I carry that in my sleep and my dreams.
Mm-hmm. And you find that you don't have great dreams, right?
It's not a good thing. It just, it disturbs me. So I wish they would do that. I wish they would have more. There's so many good news. Now, there was one thing, you'll see it when you get Boomer Times. We have a fabulous columnist, Linda Sauget, and she does everything is positive. And she started off this month with a man who was born with no legs and no arms, and he's so positive about so many things he does. And she went on with that. And it was just great, because it said, oh my goodness, what am I complaining about?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. We have to all be, like you said, grateful, and to see what we have in our lives. Look at what the good things you have. And there's very few little things. And I remember this therapist that used to come into the office years and years ago, and she used to tell me, if you took all of your problems and everybody's problems and put them in a hat, you would still pick out your own.
That's true. That's really true. But getting back, to the energy system, I think people probably who've not ever done this, they don't know how to think energy. They don't know how to do it. So I always say, on YouTube, there are motivation seminars. It doesn't cost any money. And hopefully you just get on YouTube and put in the word motivation.
Yep.
And you would be able to spend days and months just listening to all the positive people. So you wonder how they got that motivation attitude and how all that happened. Is that something you think they're born with?
I think some people are born with it, and then they tune into it and they keep it going. Because I think we're all born very positive. And then as we grow up and our brains absorb whatever, then we start seeing the negative of things and we don't look so much into the positive. But those motivational things are something that are really good to keep us on track, because we all have days when we wake up and, you know, maybe something's happened or we're concerned about something and we're not having the best day. And when those things happen to me, what I always do is I stop and I shut the door to my office and I sit for a couple of minutes and change the way I think about things and get into positive space and then go on with my day. Because otherwise that bad day can transfer to the whole day. And I just don't want to, I want to try and be as positive as I can and look at things in a positive note.
Yeah. My guest is Roberta Hladek, and we think this is a very positive interview. We always do this. We're both positive people and we both appreciate life and one another. And so we try to get people to, of course, be this way, but a good way to be is to take a shot at going to the AIM program, AIM program.com, and find out what it's all about. It can change your life. I'm sure it would if you just would let it. And sometimes, you know, yes, it does cost some money, not a lot, but it does cost something. And once you get into it, you'll realize it was worth every cent, and it will change your life. And if you're in your early years, you have a lot more years. If you're in your late years, it will increase your years, but it'll give you a satisfaction. It'll make those years very precious. So I hope that you will do this. It's, you know, and I really have to tell you, Roberta, that you have that sparkle. Every time we talk, you have a sparkle. It's it might be called energy, whatever it's called, that is it's communicated to people. It's like a good disease.
Oh, yes, and the AIM program has helped.
Sounds like your mother. Sounds like your mother was a big influence on you.
She is. She's definitely one of my biggest influences, and someone that I always like. She's my motivation. Sometimes I think of her and I go, "Gosh, to raise 7 kids, crazy."
Oh, I didn't even know that. Well, thank you so much, Roberta. I love talking with you, and I'm sure people listening to this are inspired. And I know Dan and I are always inspired when we hear you. Thank you, everybody, for listening. It's always a pleasure to share our wonderful guests and experts with you. So let's make sure that you're going to have a very good September and try to be grateful. And and please do read Boomer Times. Let me just show you that one more time here. This is Boomer Times. This is the magazine that we produce, and we hope that you'll get on it. It's boomertimesfl.com. Thank you, Roberta.
Thank you. Have a wonderful.
Goodbye.
Bye.